Bet on Bears fans, another edition of the Chicago Bears podcast coming your way. And ladies and gentlemen, it is the Friday before probably the biggest week in Chicago sports every single year. Bears versus Packer week. We got to break it all down. And of course, we've got the great Jason McKie joining us as always, man. Make sure that you guys hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. This episode is brought to you by Underdog. Make picks, win money. I think what's fun about working with you, J Mack, is you're always a ball of surprises. And when you sent this message to the group chat about a special guest we were going to have on today's podcast, my response was, I didn't know you could be cool with people from that team up north. J Mack, why don't you go ahead and introduce today's special guest on the pod?
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, this is a guy who, I grew up watching. He's a couple years older than me, but I always watched him in college and, really idolized what he did as a player and who he was as a person. A spectacular player. Obviously, he played for that team up north. That's the only mark that he has on him, but he's a tremendous guy. So we're going to bring in, my guy is University of Nebraska legend. He's a 2-time national champion. He's a 12-year NFL vet, Pat. But to go along with that, he's a 4-time Pro Bowler, a member of the Green Bay Packers Hall of Fame, and their all-time leading rusher. My guy, my big bro, Ahman Green. Aman, thanks for joining the podcast.
Hey, J Mack, thanks for having me. And Pat, nice meeting you. And I'm ready to get into it, man. This is part of something that I became a part of in 2000. And as a football fan, a sports fan, I already knew, similar to the local high schools in my area that we were rivals, we still knew dudes on the other team. But hey, that one Friday, that next game it's going to be a problem during the week. We're going to be trash talking each other, having a good time doing that, but also knowing, trying to go out there and get a win on the football field.
Yeah, now, I got to ask you this off the top because I've heard it through the grapevine that one of J Mack's teammates, one of your former teammates as well in college, or maybe not, y'all didn't really. Did y'all overlap there? Maybe.
No,
maybe.
We overlapped. I was his big bro too.
Mike Brown.
Yes.
Came up to you on a football field before the game and basically said that you weren't going to get 50 yards that day. And that is what led to the multiple times throughout my childhood of being sad. The game I remember most, probably 176, 2 touchdowns versus the Bears. Because Mike Brown opened his mouth to you one time, you decided it was on site every time you came to Chicago.
Exactly. And it was once it just one. It was every game he played y'all, home and away. So he did this in Lambeau too. He would come to me in pregame. And I'm like, Mike, I'm like, little bro, like, you already know how I play ball, right? I'm physical from the jump for any reason. And you're just rattling my cages. I'm like, you know this, right? I'm like, you forgot we went to school together. I helped you at Nebraska when you first came on campus. I was showing you things, being a big brother. I was like, okay, this is how it's going to be, and that was one. And the other one was the fact that I grew up a Walter Payton fan. And so knowing the way he was built, physically and mentally, obviously, but I was like paying homage to him when I played you guys, because it's like the way he played football at his position, on and off the field. He was a great humanitarian as well, what he did with his foundation and everything. But on the football field, even if he was playing against somebody he knew, he was going to play ball. He was going to play 100% and give it all you got. He's going to give guys he knew he went to college with, or guys that were on his team and went to another team, and he had to play football, right? So it was that type of – I had to give that respect because that was my guy. That was my running style that I say I copycat from, to have the mentality and have the success and – just be the football player that I was. That was the guy I emulated, was Walter Payton. So that's one thing I think all Bear fans can respect, hearing that. So
he gonna throw Walter in there.
I know. I knew that was one of my questions too, because I knew that you grew up idolizing Walter. You even wore it, didn't you? Even when you came back to Green Bay, didn't you wear 34? Because I think Kuhn had 30 when you came back, right? And then you switched to 34.
Yep, sure did. It was an easy thing to do. Like, he wanted to wear it, and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to even argue, because you know what? I've been wanting to wear 34 since my rookie year because of Dub P. And so I got a chance for wearing 1 year. So that's a fun trivia question that people get to ask me every now and then, or I can ask people every now and then that for 1 year I got to wear my idol's number 34 as a Packer.
Now you were known for you just talked about it, your toughness, but also your consistency. You know, we talked about you being a 4-time Pro Bowler, and obviously you're the all-time Packers leading rusher. What are some of the things you did, like routines and different things that you did to maintain your high level of play throughout your career?
So it was like I copied everything. I learned that, you know, Walter was running hills. I found a hill between Green Bay and I would go back home to Nebraska. In high school, I was doing it. I was running hills in the back of our high school, right by it was like the football field, and it was some tennis courts, and then it was a hill that went straight down. It was like it wasn't straight down, but it was like right here, and we hit it up in the summertime. And then I ran track. I played I power lifted as well. So I did multiple sports because that's, you know, knowing Walter, he was an amazing athlete. He could play and do anything. And so I kind of emulated that, but then also watching and hearing guys during my time, you know, Adrian Peterson, Ricky Williams, how they train. And the only thing I missed out on is that how I see now the younger athletes kind of band together and train together. And that's one thing I wanted to do. I wanted to call AP up his rookie year, but like, hey man, let's hang out together. Let's do this. You know, I'm a little older. I could tell you some things and teach you some things about the NFL. Ricky Williams, a guy during my time, a guy, you know, we shall not mention, you know, for the year we were drafted the same year, another running back, you know, was like, I wanted to get that together. But you see the younger guys today at other positions, like you see Travis and Kettle having tight ends university. You know, that's fantastic to see that because, you know, I said during my time, it was more like once you got drafted to a team, you just stayed within that network. You didn't really go out unless you went to college with players that, you know, I got drafted, you know, I'm a Nebraska player. I got drafted to Seattle, but I had guys that were on the Chiefs or the Packers or the Vikings or the Bears. You know, I just stay in that network and not just saying, hey, you know what? I'm a running back, you know, and I'm in it. I need to reach out to other running backs, man. What's your secret sauce? What, you know, how do you train to get some more ideas to stay on top of our game?
Do you feel like that is the reason, though, that the rivalries had so much animosity when you guys played? Because it kind of was like, we over here with our guys, y'all over there with your guys, where now we see there's a lot of friends in the league. And not to say that there weren't back then, but I think even Peyton Manning and Tom Brady talked about it. You know, they went out and snuck a workout in together and literally were like, we taking everybody's phones. Nobody can know that we like each other. Like we have to hate each other so that the rivalry can remain what it is. Do you feel like that's why now rivalries aren't as pushed or maybe aren't as big as they once were?
I could say that's one thing. That's one thing because, like I said, it was like I remember my rookie year, 1998 in Seattle, where I walk in the locker room, the regular season locker room, after training camp, after I made the roster, because even though you're third round draft pick, we all know that don't mean you guaranteed a spot. So made it through the final cuts. I come in that first day locker room of regular season play, and I got all these veterans just on me. Oh, but there's that Nebraska dude. I had a Colorado dude, a DB. I had a Miami. I was like, wait a minute. I said, look, I wasn't even on the teams when y'all were playing. Well, maybe you. I was like, maybe you from Colorado. You were there. He said, yeah, because I was trying to run you down on that first play you ran to the house. I'm like, oh, so it stuck, right? And I'm like, look. I said, look, though, I'm a rookie talking to a veteran. I said, hey, check this out. We on the same team now. Like we both got silver and gold. I mean, silver and blue and green on our same. We on the same. He said, "Don't worry about it. I'll deal with you in practice." I remember he was a safety from Colorado, from CU, and he said that to me. I just laughed. I'm like, okay, well, if you're gonna bring it, let's go. You know, his first Wednesday practice is gonna be the all full pass. So I'll be ready. I'll be ready. So, but yeah, it was more that little bit of that little chink in the armor because they know we clipped them up. You know, my freshman, sophomore year being a Husker. So it kind of stuck a little longer. But I think with all the things that's changed, I mean, that's 30 years ago now. And you look at between the NIL at the college level and the transfer portal. So there is a little bit of allegiance, but it's really not what it was. And that's what made those rivalries, like you asked me the question, Pat. That's what made them rivalries like definitely it was animosity built, but then now obviously it's a way different game, on and off the field for the players.
Yeah, man. How was you guys leading up to Bears Packers week? How was the week in terms of your preparation? I know with Lovey, like, it was extra long practices, more intense film study, more quizzes and stuff like that. How was it for you guys?
It was the same. Like, I remember Mike Sherman, he would be so intense that week. Like, if we just walked in the room we just walked in the room and just looked at him. It's Bears week. Come on, what's wrong with you? I'm like,
yes.
I'm like, okay, coach, my bad. All right. If we messed up, so like it was the same thing. It was extra film, little bit. I mean, we went over stuff so much that Brett was like, look, if we don't know it by now, we ain't supposed to win this game. It was like that, because it was like we get it as players, we get it. We're out there in the fight.
Yeah.
Yep.
Y'all on the sidelines, y'all the coaches. Like, we know much respect. We work together through the game film. You're prepping. You're making sure that we know all the details of what player does what their tendencies are, what the defensive coordinator tendencies are, offensive coordinator. Like, we get that, but hey, it's still football. We gotta go out there and hit and play, and then that's what we come in with. So being all intense during the week was just kind of funny. I say, and then the fans too. I remember it's my second year, and it's Bears week, and I'm taking the garbage out on an off day. So that Tuesday, that off day, J Mack. And I went to go grab the garbage cans. And high school, right? I lived right by one of the high schools, and the kids roll by and they say, "Hey, Ahman Green, go back, go." Then they're like, "Bears still suck. Go kick your boy." I'm like, the fans are locked in like this. I was like, man, I ain't really seen nothing like that since I was in Lincoln, Nebraska. I was like, okay, yeah, they about that life. So it was an intense week, but for me, all the same, I was just like focus in what my game was, what I needed to do: run the ball, hold on to the ball, help my team win in any way, shape I can. That was my mindset. But then the rivalry side of it was, I kind of know some of them guys because I would see Brian every now and then going down there. My wife from Chicago area. I would see Lance, Tommy. Yeah. And it was more, "Hey man, how you doing? How the fam doing?" But then when it comes Sunday, hey, we know we got to play a game.
Did it feel like, because you were a part of kind of every iteration that this rivalry could see, y'all were kind of the hammer and the nail early on in that kind of the end of your tenure in Green Bay. That's when we started to rise up. And the Bears, J Mack was out there doing his thing. Sort of highlights they got posted on your J Mack. But no, like you started to see the Bears be able to fight back, and then eventually the Bears kind of took control of the rivalry for about 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
At any point in that, did you feel like maybe in the hammer and nail era, it's not really a rivalry, we kind of just going out here and we playing, or did it feel like a rivalry? Because LaFleur and Parsons kind of downplayed it this week. They both went, you know what, that's something the fans do. That has nothing to do with what we doing in this locker room. But I feel like behind closed doors, that's not their feelings.
I say for me, speak on myself, like, I knew, one, it's a football game. And regardless of what colors they're wearing and how far they're away from Wisconsin borders, it's a football game. So one, we gotta get that game won.
Right.
Then two, it's a divisional game. So double down, we win this game, then this makes it easier for our path to go to the playoffs.
Right.
Because then now we could win the division. We're up on, Chicago 1 or 2 games. We split with Detroit or we swept them or whatever. So we knew that was the other part of it. It's like it's a playoff thing.
Yeah.
And then I say the rivalry side of it, once I got into it, like I say for the fans' sake, from the fans first, like I wasn't going to get in there and disrespect Brian and cuss him out.
Right.
No.
Right.
Yeah. I'm not going to call him something, a name that shall not be said on this show right now because it's a family show. No, I'm not that type of player. I am going to run the ball hard because I know he's going to hit me hard if he gets the opportunity and things like that. That was my mindset. It's like, look, we're going to play football. It's going to be a clean. If it ain't, obviously it may not be a clean game, but it's football. It's physical. Right. So at the end of the day, it's like, look, I'm going to play hard because I already know they going to play hard. I know Brian's going to play hard. I know Lance. I know Tommy. I know Mike is going, even though he's running his mouth in pregame, he's still going to play hard. We got to go out there and get this win. And you know what? They beat us sometimes too. Yeah. So they get us, and hey, good game. Watch it back next time. We coming for you again next time. You know, it was like that. And that was it, because it was all a focus of we're trying to get to the playoffs. You know, we trying to get to the NFC championship game and into the Super Bowl and win. So, you know, that's every player's mindset, regardless of what team they on, because I just know with rivalry games, and you know this, J Mack, you throw the records out the door. Because I tell everybody when I got a Bears fan in my face, I say, hey, the year y'all went to the Super Bowl, we swept y'all. Yeah. You know, and I say that because those games, it's a little different level of emotions and gameplay. Yeah. You know, so I always look at, and when you see even at the college level these days too, the college level and pro games, hey, if you are playing against your rival, Oklahoma, Nebraska, you know, we're trying to think like Wisconsin, Michigan, or anything, Wisconsin, Iowa. You can throw Michigan, Ohio State. Throw them. Other than this year, Ohio State different animal this year. I don't know. They just say, you know what? Yeah, we're gonna grown man everything right now. You know? But outside of that, hey, throw them records out the door, because now on another level, it's just another game of football that's going to get played out there between two teams. And so guys got to be ready for that. And fans got to, they don't quite get it, because they're all emotions. We already know that. Fans speak from emotions, yelling at us, screaming at us, whatever. Even when y'all having a bad game, J Mack, they yelling at us. We got the same thing in Lambeau Field. When we having a bad game in Lambeau, the Packer fans are destroying us. Yeah. It's like,
always.
You better chill out. Like, man.
Keep it respectful. Yeah, that's all I ever ask. Keep it respectful.
Yeah.
Because if this wall wasn't here, we could run it. Yeah. That's always my favorite thing. When you see a fan like, I'll fight you, I'll be like, you know, he lift weights for a living, right?
Yeah.
I said, maybe a baseball player, maybe basketball. You better not come on a football field.
Right.
You know what? You're gonna find out. That's what's gonna happen.
Guys get paid for violence. Paid well for violence.
Exactly. Man. Why would you try to even think about that? It's like going into a ring with a boxer. Or you gonna jump in the ring with a boxer?
Yeah.
No, don't jump on the football field, because you're gonna find out real fast.
Yeah,
some other dudes that ain't right on here on the football.
James Harrison got remember that fan stormed the field and James Harrison caught him, and it was just like that was for every fan that ever said anything crazy. That fan didn't deserve to get hit like that.
It takes it all out, because it rarely happens.
Yeah. Even the young kids, you know, I coach high school kids, and my football kids, they always, you know, want to challenge myself or Rasheed Davis, who played receiver for us, Aman, who coaches with me. Right. They're always trying to challenge us, and I'm like, guys, do you understand that? Like, you know, we got paid well for violence. Like, it's just a switch. The switch will never. It's off right now, but all we gotta do is it'll turn on quick.
Exactly, and because I remember when fans, even a few years even now, I'll be at, it don't matter, Packer bar or any bar, and people figure out that I'm there. And then I get one fan every blue moon. Hey man, can you tee off on me? Let's line up and let's go. I'm like, I would say, look, I know it's been 16 years since I have been on a football field. But you know what doesn't go away? The instinct to know how to hit a person.
Right.
With my body. So
man,
you want to talk to your boys and your wife, if she's here, girlfriend, just think about it for 1 second, and I'll come back. I'll give you a minute.
Bad.
Then I'll come back, because regardless of what my size and weight is right now, I can still find a way. I'm gonna hit. I
done seen Aman run over a lot of guys, and unfortunately, some of my teammates at the same time. But he done ran over a lot of people, man.
Hey, and them the guys that also get paid to hit people.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Hey, Aman keep a waiver in his back pocket. He be like, if you sign this, all the legalities are taken care of. I'll run you over in the parking lot.
Yes. I get that, and I'm like, you don't want this. I just told one guy, you don't want this. I said, you don't want. And he kind of looked at me and was like, look at your face. Yeah, I'm gonna be smart.
You're right.
I was like, take this autograph, take that with you, and that's it.
That's hilarious, man. Oh my goodness. Looking at this year's matchup too, Aman. So I know you played with Aaron and Brett, right?
Mm-hmm.
And looking at Jordan Love, obviously the next quarterback that you guys have on deck. I don't know how you guys keep in all these quarterbacks. It's really unfair. But since you have Jordan Love, A guy who's performed real well at times, and a guy who has, been inconsistent at times. What are some of the things you see from him in terms of his quarterback play that are similar to what you saw in Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, so this is year 3 for him as the starter, but in the league, this is year 6 or 7 for him. But seeing him develop as the starter and now where he's at, like he's testing the waters of how good he is, right? And sometimes it sticks away from that means come away from fundamentals because I see him. When we're critiquing the quarterback right now, I see him throwing on his back foot a lot that I don't like, even as a running back thrower. But I'm a coach, and I always heard coaches like, "Hey, don't be on your back foot unless you have to. You got pressure coming down in front of you, then you got to sit back. Okay, do that. But that takes off velocity. Then accuracy is quite not there. So every now and then, a good defense gets in his face, and you see him doing that. So I think that's something the NFL knows now. Let's put pressure in front of him because then he's going to like backpedal and throw it up. And then, like I said, no accuracy, no velocity on the ball. It's gone or it's less. But what he does a good job is he spreads the ball around to all the receivers that's available to him. So between the running back, if they have the fullback to the flat tight end too, he's going through all his whole progressions, because I've looked at games. I do a show myself, Believe in Packers, and he has 10 different receivers that caught the ball at least twice. And so when you have a quarterback that does that, that makes it hard for a defender to defend just one guy, even though they lost an animal in Tucker Kraft for the year, that was one of his guys. But regardless, even though Tucker Kraft might have had 7 catches and 100 yards and 2 touchdowns or something, Jaden Reed still had 2 catches and 50 yards, And so he made everybody a plausible option. And so that's one thing that Jordan does. I think one good thing, one bad thing that I know he could work on. And I'm pretty sure the coaches are good coaches pretty much remind him, hey, don't throw off that back foot, always reminding him of that to make sure he stays on top. And then I'll say overall, the Packers reason why I say one thing that why we have these stints of these long, running quarterbacks that they've given Jordan a great support system, just like they gave to Brett when I got there. Just like they gave to Aaron, on my way out, is because between the run game guys, they got Josh Jacobs and they got Marion Wilson, and then they got these young receivers, Jaden Reed, Davian Wicks, Dobbs, Kraft, Musgrave, Watson. Same thing Brett had. He had Antonio Freeman and Robert Brooks, Mark Tremore. He had dudes around him that you wasn't focusing on just Brett all the time. Same with Aaron, Drake Jennings, James Jones, Jermichael Finley. After me, it was Ryan Grant and Brandon Jackson. So when you give a quarterback a support system, then the quarterback doesn't have to go out there and feel they got to win the game on their own. He's like, man, I could just give it to him, give it to this receiver, and I got a Pro Bowl running back behind me here.
Right.
So then the pressure's off. So now he could just go be himself. So I think that's one thing that I feel now your guy, Ben Johnson, is doing with Caleb. He has a Falcon guy. He has DeAndre Swift. He has Ndunze. He has more. He has some dudes that he can get the ball to. He don't have to go out there and try to win the game by himself. And then he has a defense. So those are the factors why for the last 40 years, almost 50 years, where Green Bay has only had 3 quarterbacks, and Chicago, y'all know the story. I'm not even going down that road. Yeah. But you got Caleb now. For any defender, to me, being just I'm non-biased, that's a problem. Because he's a fantastic athlete. He is very accurate with his throws, regardless, even when he's off balance throwing the damn ball, he's accurate. It's like, so when you have a guy like that, and then you got weapons on top of that, then you're gonna have one hell of a player that could be there a long time for you guys in Chicago.
I'm gonna put you in a tough position as a former Packers player, but it's impossible to have the all-time leading rusher in Packers history on the pod and not ask you, if you had to go up against Micah Parsons, how would you want to attack a player like that? Because listen, there's one guy at every play on the field where Caleb Williams is gonna go, where's he at? Correct. And it's Micah Parsons. We all know that. We've seen what he's able to do. Yep. I do think he is susceptible to being run on, but that don't mean that he's a slouch standing over there at any point in the game. How would you attack Micah Parsons?
So I would attack Michael Parsons basically from the run game standpoint. I say run pass game, so pass protection.
Right.
My running backs, where number one is at, that's where you chip. Wherever you see number one, especially if he's on the edge. If he's on the edge, he's on a wide 9. That means he's outside the tight end, in between the slot. You go, even if it's your responsibility, go over there and chip him. Just let him know you there.
Yeah.
My rookie year in Seattle, they had Hugh Douglas in Philly. We played Philly my rookie year, and he was a first-round draft pick, DN. My running backs coach said, "Hey, Aman," and it was me, Ricky Waters, and a few guys. He said, "Every time y'all go out, I don't care if you're on the wrong side, go to his side to hit him." So just to send a message.
Yeah.
And then by the end of that game, my rookie game, it was my first NFL game in Philly. In the fourth quarter, the one time I got him with a good one, boom, hit him right in the ribs, chipped him, went to the flat. He came back. He said, "Hey, Rook, I get the message. Can you please stop hitting my ribs?" We tore his ribs up the whole game. So do the same thing to Micah. You're not trying to hurt him. You just sending a message. You're not going to hit my quarterback. And if you do, I'm coming over here. I'm helping the tackle. I'm gonna put an extra elbow in you because I'm slowing you down. And so that's something where you get in the guy's head like that because they're going to move around. They have. Halfley has moved Micah to the nose guard. He's been on the center. He's been in the 3 technique. He's been in the 5. He's in a wide 9. So they might have him put him on a slot and then have him blitz from there, because he's just that type of athlete. But you got guys. You got gun guy. You got Swift that could just chip on the way out. Right? Quick passes. Get the ball out fast. That's the big thing too. That's another thing. Get the ball out fast. Don't let Caleb be sitting back there unless you got Micah handled. Don't let him sit back there and hold the ball long on a play action play. Let the ball go out fast. So I know Ben Johnson, he understands that, and he's been doing that well along with the run game because he does a good job of making sure it's a good balance where it's more run than pass for that Bears offense.
Yeah, talk about this defense more, man. We've been talking about Micah, but you got Rashawn Gary. You've got Quay Walker. They're supposed to be getting Carl Brooks back. You got Keyshawn Nixon, Xavier McKinney on the back, and another young guy, Evan Wilson, who's been playing some good football. Talk about what the Packers have done with this defense, and why is it so good on all levels of this defense?
It's the same reason why I just said explain why Jordan Love is good. They have a support system now. So you got the guy, you got Micah, right? He was the wild card that nobody saw coming that Gutekunst was going to pick up because the Packers never do that, right? It's training camp a week away, then they're not going to make actually the regular season is a week away, and they never make a splash. And what they do, they made a splash. So now Micah could do Micah stuff, but Rashard Gary, Lucas Van Ness, Wyatt, the back end, the linebackers, the DBs, they could just go be DBs. They could just worry about covering the receiver in front of them. So you make it simple for a player. When you get a player like Micah, everything else is simple. I just got to play my technique. I just got to play fundamental football. Rashard Gary, I just got to go get the quarterback now because now Micah has disrupted everybody because everybody's thinking about Micah, where he's at, who's on him, who's going to chip him, double team him, triple team him. And then now they forgot, hey, you still got to block me. I'm a Pro Bowler. Rashard Gary, he's like, I'm a Pro Bowler. And now you got one guy on me. Oh, I can handle this. So now it's everybody kind of feeding off that. And it's like, oh, man, I get to eat now. And so that's the issue that has come into place playing some of the teams that the Packer teams that face. So now, a team like the Bears, they got, weapons. So they could get the ball out fast between the run game, beat him up. So this is where this game is going to be. It's going to be interesting to see because between the run game and the pass game for the Bears can rival of handling Micah because they could get the ball out fast. They could beat him up with the run. And they have receivers that could take the top off and beat them up, or I say dink and dunk as well, in the middle of the field.
Does this feel like a game where, unfortunately to say, little brother's grown up a little bit and now his fists are a little bit bigger and he's feeling his oats? This feels like for the first time in a long time, probably since both of you guys were on the field.
Man.
Not only can the Bears come to play talent-wise, but the Bears can actually come to play coaching-wise. You've got the weapons, but you've also got great minds in the building like Ben Johnson, like Dennis Allen, to go up against a Matt LaFleur and that phenomenal coaching staff that the Packers do have. Does this feel like little brother is finally like, all right, let's see, now that we the same size, who really come out of here alive?
Yes, it is. I mean, you couldn't have said it better than anything else. And I don't know why, but this dude Ben Johnson, he's a special dude. I like him a lot. Like seeing his good, better chant.
Good, better, best.
Yeah.
When I saw that good, better, best, I said, that's what I'm talking about, because I've been telling my Jason, J Mack, my wife Marie, she's a Bear fan too. And of course she's yelling at the screen, good or bad for you guys, right? She's ride or die. And go back years ago, go back last year, the year before that, I said, babe, all they need is a coach that understands how to get into the mentality of being a good NFL player.
Yeah.
That's it. They need a coach. They got the talent. I said for years before Ben got here, they've had the talent. When you had Justin Fields, you got, you already know. We can go down that list. I say they just need a coach that could get them to and get them in a position where not only he knows the X's and O's, but he knows the mentality. Because when you walk into that team, you get drafted, you free agents to Chicago, the cloud laying over the whole city is, can we beat Green Bay? Can we beat this team that dominates the NFC North? That's it.
Yeah.
Once and it's that, I was like, wait a minute. So if I'm looking at that, so I came in there, I was like, we just got to beat one team, and we could beat everybody else.
Yeah.
So he's built that mentality, and in my head, and watching as a fan and as a former player, I'm like, I'm like, so this is gonna be I said, this is gonna be fun for fans like me.
This is
the game. Like you said, his little brother is like, hey, what's up? I got it.
Finally.
I could throw some punches that's gonna hurt. So
right.
So and then and J Mack, I don't know if you noticed this, being in this division, they would do this to us where you got them this Sunday, then you take a week off, and then we got you again.
All the time.
I remember when I first got there, I remember playing. I'm like, didn't we just play Detroit? I swear to God, we just played them. And
all the time.
Why are we playing them again? I was like, I mean, it's 1 year I swore that we played back-to-back weeks against Chicago. And I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
We can't play back-to-back weeks. We just played them. It was so weird. But that obviously is why this division, the way it is today, is so competitive, because for one, we're not far from each other, but then the coaches are kind of on the same level, and the players are now understanding, that they got to play good football. They play clean football. And so that right there is where not just this game, but every game is worth something going into the end of December for the 2025 season.
Yeah, man, I want to talk about, what you're doing now. I know you're big into esports and different things like that. And I know, we talked a lot about an initiative or a program that you have going on that you've been developing since last year. Tell our viewers, you kind of know kind of what you're doing right now in terms of esports.
Yeah, so I started coaching in esports back in COVID year 2020. I got hired at Lakeland University, is in Plymouth or Sheboygan, Wisconsin, and did well there. Had about, 10 playoff teams, and actually won a national title in Madden. So, boom. And then I had the opportunity, got asked from my alma mater, go play coach at Nebraska. They had an esports team. Got a few teams. It was only there a short stint, like maybe a year and a half, and was able to change the program. But something I noticed was that a lot of esports programs didn't have a lot of funding. So was using my platform, my foundation to help, bring more awareness about it. So that, got me out of that position. So I had to walk away from there. And then started through my foundation, raising awareness about esports programs at the high school and the college level. So I got partnered with a group out of North Carolina called Stay Plugged In, and they're basically the AAU of high school esports. So they help high school kids on the esports team get looked at colleges, earn a scholarship. They either do in-person events or they do online events. And so I'm here in Kansas City because of the Pro Player or the Players League. That's an initiative they started last year with me, where they have former athletes from the sport. So from football, we're mentoring high school esports teams. And so they play Madden, and then they have an initiative. An initiative last year was they had to create a Super Bowl commercial as a team, so they had to get into what we're doing here, content creation, set up microphones, or run a show or run a script. Right now the script for what they're going to show in the commercial, and I remember one group I think they had Geico, hypothetically as their sponsor, and they had to do a Geico-esque commercial. So it was pretty neat that was part of the scoring too of them winning the game. And I think the game came down to, so it started after Super Bowl and went all the way to draft. So all the kids that qualified and some of their moms and dads were able to fly up to Green Bay for the draft for the finals. And so the finals came down to one high school 56, the other high school 53. It was a crazy Madden game. That's a lot of scoring, no defense.
No defense at all.
Right.
Just playing cover 3 the whole game.
Right. You ain't got no man coverage in there. Like, what's
bombs
away? It's Madden. So they had that part, and then the scoring of what their commercial looked like. And so that was great teamwork, accountability, going, learning, content creation, how to develop a game plan or run a show for that or a script for that commercial. And so now we're in the second iteration. Now it's the National Women's Soccer League finals that we're here in KC. So now it's a few of the women's soccer players that's been doing the same thing I did. We mentored the high schools for 1 hour a month from earlier this year, from February to April to the draft. So the draft is in Pittsburgh this year. So it's going to be right after the Super Bowl in San Francisco. The season will start, and then it'll be concluding in April this year in Pittsburgh. And so myself, and I believe it's Taylor, I can't remember her last name, but first name is Taylor, will be the women's soccer player that has mentored the players up until now to get the process started for National Women's Soccer League. So we're looking to go to NBA, Major League Baseball, and also NHL as well. And actually MLS as well, soccer as well, men and women. So that's what I've been up to.
That's awesome, man. That's
one of your former players actually talked about it. You're not just teaching these must go out there and play games. You're not just teaching them coverages. One of your former players, Curtis Doki, said it's not simply gaming. We had to do workouts. We had film sessions. We did pretty much how he did it in the NFL. So what was going through a esports Madden championship run?
Right.
Was there any similarities for you or flashbacks for you where you were like, this is exactly what it was like going through the playoffs as 100%. A player?
Yeah, 100%. Like the school year started at Lakeland, and it was COVID year too. So in the first semester, I was like, we're going to have 2-a-days. I'm just going to take, obviously it's not no physicality going on, but we're going to be on the game grinding. So first practice is from 9 to 12, and we're in Madden, we're learning the mechanics, but we're in all games. We're in Rocket League. We're in Valorant. We're in Call of Duty. We're in League of Legends. We're in Smash Brothers, Mario Kart. All those games were the titles that we competed in. And then Madden and 2K and Fortnite. So I'm teaching and learning mechanics myself. I'm teaching, but I'm also, teaching, showing them how to get through it, because fundamentally, that's how we got better at football, J Mack, right?
Yeah.
We learned how to tackle. We learned how to catch the ball, hold the ball as a running back, how to throw the ball, all those fundamental things. So I just took, you got a controller in your hand. There's fundamentals of using a controller. You got mouse and keyboard, typing on the keyboard. There's fundamentals of that. There's things that you could adjust to with your controller or on your keyboard to make the game play faster for you, because you got great hand-eye coordination. Same thing there. So it was just showing them that. And they're looking at me like, man, you play football. And I'm like, well, I was a gamer first.
Yeah.
My dad was IT. My dad was he repaired computers for a living. So I got a chance to sit at a desk and watch my dad fix a computer, and then he'll turn it on and he'll show me how to turn it on. He'll show me how to press the button. And that's how that love started. So just around the same time I fell in love with football. I was falling in love with the Apple II PC, playing video games. So it's been around my entire life.
Yeah.
And so that's where then they're like, oh, okay. So they didn't have to doubt me no more, because, J Mack, this. We had football coaches growing up as kids be like, man, you ain't playing no running back. Why don't you come do these high knee drills with me? Our coaches got big old bellies.
Right.
I'm like, man, all right, you get on this drill. They're like, Mom, I said, no, you telling me, you yelling at me, So I was like, I knew that in the back of my head. And I was like, they're asking me the same question. So I would laugh, but like, look, let's get on the game and we can find out real quick.
Wow.
I tell them, I was like, or I'll tell them straight up, you know what? League of Legends, I've never touched the game, but I know teamwork.
Yeah.
It's a 6v6, 6 players on each team.
Right.
Yeah.
That means you have a in-game leader, which is usually the captain, and then everybody else listens to that in-game leader for all the shot calls. So that means you got to listen. You got to be accountable of what he or she asks you to do.
Yep.
You got to get your job done, because if you don't, you'll probably be a reason why you guys lose the game. And so I could coach that.
Yeah.
If you tell me what your job is, then I'll be just reminding you, hey, you got to go to left lane. You got to go to bottom lane and cover that area. Right. You got to be a mid laner. You got to be a top laner. You got to do your job. So that's I know that, because I remember being on the special teams, and my rookie year when I did touch special teams before, but now I had to be the wedge buster. And so I'm watching the film on how to do that. And if I didn't get my job done, coach was going to be yelling at me. The 2, eventually I'm going to get cut. So I was like, hey, I got, I'm not getting the ball as a running back, but hey, I got to be a football player now. So I got to fundamentally I know how to tackle. I know how to go in, make sure I'm not hurt or whatever, or I tackle the guy the right way, stuff like that. So teaching the fundamentals of that, that's where the kids understood, okay, he understands video games. Like, so, because I was like, it's just a quick transition of what is being taught and what's being coached to then understand what I need to emphasize as a coach as an esports coach coaching all those games.
I'm glad you clarified, because when he said working out, I thought you just had a bunch of jack gamers walking around here.
Me too. You said that too. I was like, how are they working out? Like,
no, so the workouts was basically our warm-ups, the dynamic warm-up. And I had them do more cardio and fitness stuff, more like stretching and a little bit of yoga. They were sitting in them chairs, and I teach them how to posturally sit. Like, because some of them are hunched over, they're over like this. I'm like, no, sit up right. Get your back straight. Wow. So I was teaching them that stuff and stuff for their hands, warm-ups that I got from the YouTube, and a guy that was a chiropractor that I met online, because he found out I was doing that. And he said, Aman, hey, I got a workout, a warm-up for your hands and your forearms for gamers, so they don't get carpal tunnel,
Wow.
Oh, heck yeah. My players need that, right? Because I want them to play, and I don't want them at 18 years old, they can't move their wrists right because they've got nerve damage in their forearms from being on the computer. Just like our coaches, right? They cared about us to get us one in our right helmets that they fit right, because make sure we don't get hit in the head, and we were protected. The shoulder pads were on right, the thigh and knee pads were on right, or we got the right shoes on. So I'm doing that same thing, for my esports players, making sure they understand that. Look, I'm not just here to, bark at you. I'm here to make sure that you can play this game, and you could, still have a good time, and not start feeling the aches and pains of gaming, which there are aches and pains in gaming that you can experience.
Yeah, I had a question on, so when you're playing Madden, right, and you're going up against an opponent, right? And, we got our film, we watched our opponents like last 3 or 4 games.
Yep.
So how does that work in gaming? Do you have film on your opponent playing somebody else, and you break down that film? Like, how does that work?
Oh, yeah, it's the same. So I brought in that same thing. But the interesting thing was, J Mack, Pat, the esports teams at the college level, they don't share the film like teams do.
So that's what I wondered.
So you had to go have somebody. So I had somebody on I had one of the students go and be the searcher out for YouTube tapes or Twitch VODs.
Yeah, that's
and
crazy.
One of my players was really, really good at it.
I thought you was on your Bill Belichick sending them to film practices. I thought it was.
No. Well, it was Bill Belichick-esque, because you had to go online. They were going into the team streams where these teams. Sometimes these teams stream their practices.
Yeah.
So I had one of my players found that out when one school was filming, putting their practice online. And I'm like, well, if you're putting your practice online, you're just making it, available to everybody. Okay. For Rocket League or for Fortnite, so that part, they don't share film. So it was sometimes we didn't get no film. And so I would tell my players, you know what, we don't have no film. You're just going to have to react very fast and then learn what they're doing real quick and then adjust. I said, and don't be mad at the lag. Don't be mad at your teammate unless they were supposed to do something, they didn't get it right. Focus on your job first, handle that, and then move on to the next task. Because I said that's the one thing that I had to coach, because a lot of them, they didn't have patience. You know, they want to blame everybody. You know, hey man, the computer lag was this and that. You know, this monitor sucked. You know? I'm like, hey, bro,
Madden algorithm again.
That's me. That's me.
Like,
man, the lag. I can't kill nobody. The lag is
right. Exactly. So I was like, hey, you didn't build the game. You're not Mr. You don't run the internet, so you got to deal with what it is. You know.
Yeah.
So that was the process we went through.
That's hilarious, man. Like I just love that you've gotten into heavily into esports. If somebody wants to get into esports or is in an area where your program is at, how would they try to get into that world?
Well, I say if you're at you're a kid at the high school level, check your high school. Your high school might have it, and if you don't know it, that means that's bad on their part because they're not advertising it properly. Right. If you're at the high school level, you're at a high school that you don't know that your high school has a team. You know that's they got to work on it. The college level, you know, like Stay Plugged In, go to their website. It's as it's spelled, so staypluggedin.com. Go there. And you can find out, you know, you create your account, you can find out, you know, what online events that are happening that you could get yourself recruited by universities, you know, between Nebraska, Syracuse, North Carolina, all the SEC schools, Alabama, Tennessee, and all, they all have esports programs now. Yeah. You have smaller schools too, the D3s and the NAIAs, and even the community colleges, you know, Northwoods. I know Michigan State, I know in the Big Ten, Michigan State's dominating.
Wow.
Yeah, they got one of the biggest programs, and the biggest program that's in college at the college level is Boise State. Those guys got like 7 natties. I know the coach there, Doc Haskell. He's a great dude, and he basically what I talked about here today is the way he coaches. You know, and he's never touched the football field. So
that's insane.
He coaches his Rocket League, his Halo team, his Call of Duty team, Valorant, Street Fighter players, Smash. He coached them just like I coach my Lakeland team and how I coach my football players when I was coaching high school sports. So it's always been the same. And he has a coach, maybe more, right? Yeah, coach is a coach.
I'm telling you, that's awesome, man. I never knew, you know, that much went into it, and that's good insight too, knowing that it gives these kids who aren't necessarily touching a playing field an opportunity to be involved on a team and to be coached and have opportunities to go to college, like you're saying, and to win national
you get a scholarship off of that, right?
That's what I'm saying. Like it's huge, and you're creating different avenues for them to be successful. And it doesn't have to be because they're, you know, they don't have to wear cleats or wear basketball shoes or something like that. They're actually, you know, using a controller, and it's something that they enjoy. And I think that's fantastic. That's a lot of information that I didn't know, man. It's it opened up my eyes a lot for sure, man.
Yeah, man. And real quick, just to let you know where you can find me. I'm on Twitch. I got 2 channels there, Ahman Green TV and NIL TV Esports. We're starting to work with in that channel. I'm gonna start working with college athletes and the whole NIL thing. And so that's where you can find me. And then social media is as it is right there, Ahman Green 30 on the screen. What's that? Right there.
Right there.
That's my Instagram and my X right there. That's where you could drop a DM if you got questions or you want to get a game of Madden in. Hey, look me up. I don't run from anybody. So let's go.
Before we get you out of here, what was cooler, being inside the Batman and Superman movie or playing in the NFL?
Oh, that's
He gonna say Batman.
I know you're a big Batman fan.
But the nickname was Batman, DC, right? Ahman, wasn't your nickname was Batman?
Yeah,
I told you, Pat. I told you.
All right. So that's a tough question, bro. Oh my God. He hit me with a tough question. Woo!
You in the Snyderverse, dog. I had to ask,
man. Yeah, that's a tough one, man. Oh God, because I grew up a sports fan, like I mentioned, and I grew at the same time. I became a Batman fan when I was 12, going to see the first Batman with Michael Keaton for me, anyway.
Yeah, that's
you know, that just did it for me. I was like, dude, that is the dude. And as a 12-year-old, I was so like my mom. The way I looked at him was the fact that I was like, he has no. I figured out right away. I say Batman has no superpowers.
Yeah,
I said that's why I like him. He's just rich and he's consistent in the weight room. So I was like, so he's out here with these superheroes, super villains fighting them, and he's still hanging with them.
Yeah.
So that was like that did it for me. So oh man, and I just love playing NFL too. Like that was my dream as a kid. 4th grade, I knew in 4th grade. I had a teacher.
Let's say 1A, 1B then. How about that? 1A.
1A. I would have to say I'll make football 1A, being in NFL, and then I'll make Batman, being in the Batman Superman movie 1B, because like me going on set and seeing, I remember, so when I first got on set that day, I walk and I see Ben Affleck in the suit, that trench coat suit, the Nightmare Batman or whatever. He's shooting that scene, and I'm just sitting there like,
wow. I'm
like, this is so dope. And he comes over me. What's up, Aman? How you doing? You know, I'm a fan. I'm like, what's up, Ben Affleck? Hey, give me that suit though. That suit dope. I'm like, give me that thing. That's what I wanted. I said, I want that. Can I have that suit?
Oh man, that's awesome, man.
So yeah, so that's I got to do 1A, 1B. That's just two. That hits home for me.
That's amazing, man. Well, we appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Make sure y'all check him out in the movies. He is in the Batman vs Superman movie.
Yep. The director's cut. The director's cut.
Yeah. Which is the only. It's the. Never mind. I ain't gonna do that. I was about to nerd out real quick.
Right.
Hey, we appreciate you coming on, Aman.
Yes, sir.
I do hope that the Bears beat the Packers and that you are not happy this week. But
hey,
we hope
you a fan. I respect that.
Every other week.
That. So that means. Yeah, and the same goes for you. I hope my Packers beat up on the Bears.
Yeah, I already know. We're gonna be texting. I'm gonna be texting.
Oh yeah. Yep, I love it.
We appreciate you, Ahman, man. I'm excited to that you're able to get, talk about esports and stuff like that. So make sure you guys check Ahman out, and thanks for your time, man. And bear down, Ahman. That's what we're talking about here. Bear down.
Oh yeah, I know that. I heard that from my family in Chicago. So yeah, definitely know that. I know that saying right there. But thanks for having me. And anytime y'all want to talk, I don't know if y'all just talk Bears, but I'm a baseball fan. I'm a basketball guy too. So I don't know how far y'all go with this.
Well, now we got to get them on for everything.
Yeah.
You're not just an esports and Batman guy.
Right.
That's a good podcast in itself, J Mack.
I'm trying to tell you.
100%.
All right, Ahman, great to talk to you, man.
Yes, sir. Blessings, bro. Thank you, man.
J Mack. Yeah, talk to y'all later.
Yes, sir.
I love that my husband's so handy. He leaves more money for the important stuff. Whoa. Gosh darn it, Steve.
Oh. Don't be like Steve. Call Avondale Roofing. DIY is for Pinterest, not your roof.
Ahman Green joining us here on the Chicago Bears podcast. Man, that was awesome. That was absolutely awesome.
Yeah, that's my guy, man.
I love that. I think that was it's great insight. It is tough for me, J Mack. I'm not gonna lie. I was telling EO before we started the show. You sit here and you look guys up, and when we have these interviews, and you don't always bring teammates on, right? The teammates is easy. I grew up watching y'all. I love these dudes. Sometimes you bring the ops on, and I'm like, dang it, I think I like Ahman Green. He's
a monster.
He hit us for 176 and 2 tutties. I don't like that.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, Pat. Right? And there's rivalries and there's opponents, right? And yeah, you have a dislike for that organization. Yeah, but it's like for some players, that's a part of that team that your rivalry, coaches you to dislike. But game respect game, and I think that, hey, a lot of people dislike Aaron Rodgers. I don't like Aaron Rodgers because he wears a Green Bay uniform, but I respect the game. You got to respect the game. Ahman Green, we friends, but when it was rivalry week, we were trying to win. So any other game, I wanted Ahman to run for 500 yards a game, except for when it came to us. You know what I'm saying? But you got to respect this game. He was a talented running back, awesome Hall of Fame human being, as you see. So it was good to get him on and to get his perspective on, the rivalry between the Packers and the Bears and how things went on their side. Because I know how it was on our side in terms of the preparation and how that week went. And like he talked about his neighbors, driving past his house and yelling, "Bears still suck," and all that stuff. Well, I have neighbors, and when we used to lose to the Pack, I would go check the mail, and my neighbors would look at me like, and I'm like, man, even when I was retired, I'm like, man, I didn't play. They mad at me. I'm like, I didn't play on Sunday. I watched the game just like you did.
Hey, J Mack, for years the Bears fans were saying the same thing too. Just Bears still suck. I don't know,
bro. It's been crazy, and having friends like that play on that team up north. Yeah. You got to hear about it too, even when you're not playing. You know what I mean? We still own you. Like, man, you ain't even play. I ain't play. We still own you though. So yeah, this is gonna be a big one Sunday. I'm super excited, man. We got to get this.
How about we get to our McKeys to the game?
Let's get it.
The segment where every single week we find out how to go out
Yeah.
there and dominate the team opposite us. J Mack, technically, your keys have been hidden. I think Ben Johnson's listening. Your keys have been hidden.
You saw last week, right? What was the first key? McKee last week. Run the damn ball. And what did they do?
Ball, baby.
Ran the feathers off that eagle last week there, buddy. So, like we do every week, McKees To The Game. We're starting on the offensive side of the ball first. Being an offensive guy.
Nothing wrong with
defense wins championships, but we're going to start with offense here first. Pat the designer. So here we go. Interior run game, Pat. Interior run game this week.
Yes.
Devontae Wyatt out. Heck of a player. I hope he has a speedy recovery, just not within the next few weeks. Okay. You know what I mean? So he's out. So you're going to have some young guys in there. Carl Brooks is supposedly coming back. You're going to have a couple young rookies in there that are going to have to fill that interior of that defense, fill that void left by Devontae Wyatt. Well, we know what the Bears do well, right? Especially on that offensive line that's led by the three interior guys that we brought in free agency. The guys that we paid a king's ransom, Pat, to make a difference like they've been doing this entire year. So my spotlight is on Drew Dahlman. My spotlight's on you, Jonah Jackson. We've had on the podcast an awesome guy who's been kicking ass all year. And it's on Joe Tooney. He's probably the best left guard in the NFL in a Bears uniform. Come on, guys. You know what I mean? Let's go. It's showtime. It's showtime. So I want to see the Bears. Yes, Ben's still going to do his thing. They're going to major in outside zone and things like that. But at the same time, sometimes you got to line up and say, where we're going with the football. We know where the void is in that defense left by Devontae Wyatt. Yeah. We're going to run this thing downhill. So that's my first thing. Next thing, right? Been talked about all week. Ben talked about it. The passing game, right? We're winning despite our passing game, which means it's not good enough. Romo Dunze is supposed to be out. We just got that update in terms of
no Rome,
injury report.
TJ back, but no
Rome. Rome. But here's the thing, though. Caleb and company. Doesn't matter. Rome's not out there. Can we generate some explosive plays in the passing game, Pat? Right? Because we know our run game's really good. There's going to come a time where we're going to need this passing game to step up. And we've seen Caleb step up at times and make crucial plays. We saw last week with the boot play that he ran to Cole Kmet to seal the deal that led to a touchdown. But at the same time, we need to see more consistent, explosive plays in the passing game. I think it's gotten to a point in the season where we can't say, "Oh, this needs to be fixed. We got to clean that up." That's overtime. Like, we're too far in the season to have those mistakes keep happening. You're going to have to win games because of your passing game. And let's get this passing game on the right track. Defensively, Green Bay is not a team that turns the ball over. I think Coach LaFleur does a good job. He does a really good job with that offense. They got balance on that offense. Jordan Love is a really good quarterback. And when Jordan Love gets hot, he's hot. Threw 4 touchdowns last week against who they played, Detroit, right? Yeah. So can we generate? And Al Harris has his takeaway meter. I say he'll tell me what the takeaway meter is on Sunday. I'm saying you need at least 2. And when you get these 2, the offense has to capitalize off these 2 takeaways. And then, having Billings back, you mentioned TJ Edwards, you mentioned Noah Sewell, right? Stop the run. Don't let Josh Jacobs and Emmanuel Wilson get comfortable. Do not let them be a factor in this game. So that way, now you talk about an explosive passing game that the Packers have. When you have a run game that you can pair with that passing game, it makes it really tough for a defense, especially for a secondary who we know is, been struggling. Tyreek Stevens is out as well. Get Jalen Johnson back, Kyler Gordon back. But at the same time, we know Jordan Love's going to push his football down the field. So stop the run, force Jordan Love to pass where we know he's going to pass. We got to make plays in the passing game and get these takeaways. So those are your McKees to a Bears-Packers game. I got my popcorn ready, Pat. I'm excited.
Hey, listen, it's been working the entire time. It does suck that Roma Dunze won't be out there.
Man.
He's been DNP all week with a foot injury. He's been battling that foot. And I'll be honest with you, J Mack, I know this is probably the worst week for you to do it, but I think Ben Johnson said it with Swifty a little bit too. Sometimes you got to protect the players from themselves.
Yeah, for sure.
And there's a bigger picture that this team has in mind where you're going to need Rome at the end of this year and possibly going into the playoffs. You have to make sure that he's okay. Tyreek Stevenson, DNP, feel a little bit better because yet again, Jalen Johnson, full practice all week. On top of that, Kyler Gordon and those guys getting back on the field. CJ Gardner-Johnson, you have a good DB room to kind of supplement losing Tyreek there. Ruben Hippolyte, DNP. I'm sorry, he was out. He was limited today, which is good to see, but he will be out for this game. Outside of that, though, Andrew Billings full.
Big right there.
Massive, especially
Big
with
Bill.
Josh Jacobs on the
Big
other
Bill.
side. TJ Edwards full, and it looks like, again, no designation of questionable for these. So I would assume all of these guys are playing. Jalen Johnson full, Kyle Monangai full with that ankle, Dominique Robinson full with concussion, Noah Sewell full, so you're getting your linebacking crew back there, and Joe Tooney was basically just resting on Thursday, came back full practice Friday.
I think my biggest thing when I look at this game, right, and I think this right here, with the way things are set up and, you know, the magnitude of this game, this is Ben Johnson's biggest game, right? It's his biggest challenge, right? Not because it's the Bears. Yes, it's because the Bears are 9-3 and the Packers are 8-3-1. But at the same time,
you talk some trash to start the season.
Right. My thing is, it's big because, right, it's going to show. I think this is going to show what type of culture and what type of standard that you have really implemented there at Hallis Hall, right? Because we've talked about this, and we talk about this every week. You're getting praise from everybody now, right? You're the number one seed in the NFC, right? Even on Sunday, every game that I watched, everybody's talking about the Bears. And that's the first time in I don't know how long, right? So the main thing is, you know, can you continue to make sure that your locker room or what you do in the building up there at Hallis Hall, your process, your preparation, right? The details in which you do everything are still at an elite level, even though you're receiving praise and you're the number one seed and everybody's congratulating you and everybody's saying that, yeah, we're going to make the playoffs. And we hear Ben Johnson talk about it all the time, right? 1-0 mentality. You're talking about it, but now we're actually going to see, has that really been embedded in your players, and has it matriculated through your coaching staff to make sure that those guys are making sure their position groups understand that just because we're actually, you know, receiving praise and people are talking about us and we're not a joke no more, to be quite honest, Pat, are we still going to go out there and can we win a tough game without all the distraction that's being thrown our way? I think that's my biggest challenge for Ben this week.
Yeah, and I think the fact that, listen, he almost put the pressure on himself, which I love, to start the season. You know what you're doing. There's a little pander, but there's also a little bit of, hey, I got a good reason to beat my chest. 5-1 versus Matt LaFleur in his time in Detroit. I mean, and you do it as a head coach. And I'll be honest with you, J Mack, like, I think that this is bigger in the Packers sense because there's a lot of question marks around LaFleur up there, which I don't get. Like, if we didn't have Ben Johnson and Matt LaFleur became available, I probably would do a backflip and say, go get Matt LaFleur.
He's a great hey, like I said, you gotta give people their just due. He's a good coach.
He's a phenomenal head coach. You know what I mean? He ain't won a Super Bowl yet. There's a lot of us that were great head coaches that didn't win Super Bowls for a long time.
And I hope he doesn't. I hope he doesn't in a Packers uniform too. But 100% the respect is there from a coach to a coach. Like, he's a good coach.
Yeah, 100%. But I think that this is a game that could put more pressure on the Packers, where you lose this game, you got a Broncos defense next week that is monstrous right now. And then you got to play the Bears again. Like, the pressure is ramped up for the division if the Packers can't find a way to win this one. And I think that it's why I've said this a ton. It doesn't matter what advantages I point out that the Bears have or that we point out that the Packers have.
Correct.
This is a divisional game. It's going to come down to what I think we saw last week. Who's more physical?
Yeah.
Who's the most physical team play in and play out?
And as much as, you know, we can talk about how, you know, that introductory press conference that Ben had talking about Coach LaFleur and all that stuff, right? And you listen to the comments that Micah Parsons has made this week talking about how the Bears are disrespectful. He's telling you what type of game it is. Like, guys,
you know what I mean?
He's telling you it's on site. In other words, like, it's as soon as that ball's kicked off, it's on. So it's gonna be a physical. It's gonna be a you know, an old school, old fashioned NFC North matchup up there at Lambeau. It doesn't get no better. You know, it's an afternoon game. It's awesome, man. It's good. And it's the first time in a long time that both teams are actually good at the same time.
Yeah, probably since 2018. I mean, like,
so
probably since 2018. That's crazy, dog. Well, you felt like you had a chance, I should say, and it truly feels like the Bears come in with a chance. All right, let's finish it out with this, J Mack. We got to finish out our underdog play for the week right now. what we have. Courtney Cronin went 190.5 higher passing yards for Caleb Williams. Jordan Love higher than an interception in this game for Yurko. And I went DeAndre Swift rush yards. They had it set at 48.5. I think you got to go higher in that sense. J Mack, some names still available out here. DJ Moore might get a ton more looks. Colston Loveland might be more involved, knowing that Roma Dunze is out there. Kyle Monungai also available. Luther Burden, maybe this is the Burden breakout week here. Any of those names stand out to you? What do you want to go with?
Yeah, I'm going
for an underdog.
Yeah, I'm sticking with my guy Kyle Mighty Monungai.
We got a Monungai.
I want to do anytime touchdown.
Oh, a little anytime tutty action.
Yeah, he's Kyle Monungai.
Hey,
Kyle Monungai, when he gets when he gets on the goal line of that little red zone, I mean, the guy is a ball of violence. He is a ball of violence, man. He's like his running style reminds you of, since we were talking about gaming with Aman, like Sonic the Hedgehog. Like he's just, you know what I mean? He's just a ball of violence, man. So go ahead, Kyle Monungai, anytime touchdown, Bears fans.
Hey, J Mack, you want to know how much of a lock that is? The last 4 weeks we've seen it versus the Giants, the Vikings, the Steelers, and Philly. Kyle Monungai scored a touchdown in every one of those games. Remember at the beginning of the season, Muggs were making fun of Ryan Poles going, we got Ashton Genty at home.
Hey,
with Kyle Monungai. Hey, now the Raiders fans are sitting there going, well, we got Kyle Monungai at home with Ashton Genty right now. Yeah.
It's been good, man. He's been awesome guy too, and an awesome guy who understands his role, and he's literally running with it, to say the least. So a Monungai touchdown, baby, gotta have it.
Make sure you guys tap in with us over on Underdog. As always, man, download the app today. Sign up with the promo code CBP to score $100 in bonus entries when you play your first $5 bet. That's promo code CBP. Underdog. Make picks, win money. EOQ the disclaimer. Must be 18 years or older, 19 or older in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 or older in Colorado for some games, 21 or over in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. That's going to do it for us here on the Chicago Bears podcast, man. Jason McKie, Pat the designer. Now, J Mack, you never give us a score prediction, but you do give us a win-loss prediction here. Do the Chicago Bears wake up on Monday a 10-3 football team?
I think so. I think it's going to be a close game, and that's something that we've done well in close games all year. So, it'll be another victory Monday. I will be walking around like Conor McGregor with my chest out after a Bears dub. And it's exciting, man. Really good show. We had Ahman Green, former Packers legend. He's a Packers Hall of Famer, their all-time leading rusher on the pod to break down the matchup. So that was good. And hopefully I'll be texting him on Monday talking about Bear down, Pat.
Hey, listen, as long as he don't hit you with a GPG, we doing great. You know what I'm saying? We ain't going to say it on this podcast. Not here. I need FGBs in the chat. That's what we need. Drop the FGBs under this month. And a bear down as always, man. Hey, man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love as always. For Jason McKie, it's your boy, Pat the designer. Back at it again. Let's go get this dub, baby. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Bear down. One love. Peace.